The long-standing issue and concern of the USVI's dwindling retirement fund has now been addressed, according to Government House. This is thanks to an enormous sale of reissuing rum cover over bonds, which has brought in almost $100 million to GERS. USVI News' Ali Bourne-Vanek has more from Governor Albert Bryan Jr. and the $1 billion coming into the territory.
Emily, USVI retirees are now set for the next 30 years, according to Government House, now that a $1 billion bond sale is complete. This will fund the retirement system after many years of many worrying that the system would be depleted. The first $89 million has already been received and was celebrated at a special check presentation on Monday.
Today is about the 9,000 retirees who no longer have to worry about cuts to their retirement annuities. Today is about that promise that was made that we would fix this system without impacting 1 red cent of the retirees who are already retired. And let me tell you something. I know how to smile a lot. And sometimes I think it'll make it look like it's easy. But it's not easy. This year, we're going to have to find $40 to $50 million that we will no longer collect from the revenue fund and find a way to make the budget balance. Not me alone, me and my colleagues in the legislature. We're going to have to be able to see a way that we create more revenues, be it cannabis, maybe not, something else, to make up for all the things. Because as we do this, the teachers don't want to hear that we don't have money to give them raises. The EMS people don't want to hear that neither. The children in the schools don't want to hear that we don't have the money to make the repairs and fix the schools. And I know that y'all enjoying all the asphalt that's raining from the skies now. We can't forget all of those things. We still have to make up and make it out. But like I said, today is about retirees. Retirees like Wilbert Gomez, or Gomi like we call him, who worked as a teacher for 37 years, giving back to this Virgin Islands, and now is retired, that his future is secure. Today is about people like Verdell Peterson, who worked as a teacher as well and gave back to this community. About Olaf Branko Hendricks, who's still working for the community, retired about 10 times now and can't stay home, who work tirelessly in our health department and other places contributing. Today is about the 8,000 active employees too, though. Because these 8,000 people will now be able to retire and make sure that they have a little piece of the pie. We are losing employees because people are saying the system is going to be broke. And I've answered the question tirelessly to my supporters 4 years ago. Why do you want to be the governor when this system go under? Wait till it go broke and then run. But that's not how we do things.
Over the next couple of years, more allotments of money will be coming in for the retirement system from this bond sale. Governor Bryan also added that this has been a team effort between Government House, the legislature, and administrations before him to make this day possible. In St. Thomas, Ali Bourne-Vanek, USVI News.
And big changes are now underway for the territory's fire and EMS services. Last Friday, Governor Bryan signed a bill into law enacting the Fire EMS Integration legislation. Many other leaders were on hand for the momentous occasion. The merger of fire and EMS has been years in the making, so Government House held an event at the Omar Brown Fire Station on St. Thomas to recognize the historic signing of the bill, again effectively merging the Virgin Islands Emergency Medical Service and Fire Service all throughout the territory. Combining the two agencies will allow first responders to deliver more efficient and comprehensive emergency medical services to Virgin Islanders, and something Governor Albert Bryan Jr. says has been a long time coming.
At least 15 years we have been trying to get this bill passed. I remember way back in the John DeYoung administration, the weeping, the wailing, and the gnashing of teeth trying to get this through the legislature. And finally, the administration turning its head and taking on more important things. If we had done it then, we would have been in a better shape when Irma and Maria struck the islands and we had St. John cordoned off by itself. If we had done it then, my cousin, Flavia Sadley, Mao, in Savannah. Maybe, just maybe, there would have been a trained paramedic or a fireman to get to him a little bit earlier, and he would have been standing right here by me. If we had done it then, imagine the people that may have survived because Virgin Islanders could respond not from one spot, but from 5 or 6 locations throughout the territory. I really am proud today to say that we got it done. As this administration moves forward, we're keeping the promises that we made to the people in year one by being persevering on all the things that we think are important.
The Commissioner of Health of the Health Department said the fire and EMS services have been underfunded and understaffed, so this law creates a collaboration and enhanced communication, which has been badly needed in the territory. Government House says it's dedicating at least $1 million American Rescue Plan Act funds towards training EMS personnel, buying new equipment, and getting firehouses equipped with what they need to respond to emergencies. Get ready for severe weather this summer. The Tropical Meteorology Project team at Colorado State University released its Atlantic Basin hurricane forecast, and it's not good. Forecasters are predicting 19 named storms this season. That's 5 more than normal, and 9 are expected to become hurricanes. 4 of those predicted hurricanes are expected to reach Category 3 or higher. Scientists say the increased activity is largely due to the natural phenomenon known as La Niña. It creates colder than average ocean temperatures at the equator, which inhibits winds that prevent hurricanes from forming, making them more likely. Forecasters also say advances in satellite technology have enabled them to detect weaker storms they previously wouldn't have known about. And that's one reason we see more named storms these days. COVID-19 cases in the territory remain over 100. They have gone down a bit, though. The small spike we're seeing is an indication the BA2 Omicron subvariant has made its way here, although sequencing hasn't come back at last check to confirm that. According to the latest numbers from the VI Department of Health, there are 108 active cases territory-wide, down from 123 last week. 40 cases right now in St. Croix, 63 on St. Thomas, and 5 active cases on St. John. Racism is a serious public health threat. That's what the CDC director said exactly 1 year ago. And a new report detailing the way COVID-19 has impacted the Black community makes it clear the crisis isn't over. New COVID-19 cases, hospitalizations, and deaths are on the decline across the country, but experts say the crisis isn't over. A new report from the Black Coalition Against COVID-19 details the disproportionate impact the virus has had on Black Americans, something we've watched play out since the early stages of the pandemic. April 2020.
The chronic burden of medical ills is likely to make people of color, especially, less resilient to the ravages of COVID-19.
July 2020.
The populations who are most at risk, that's our Latino and African American communities.
Marcela Nunez-Smith, a woman from the Virgin Islands who is co-chair of the White House COVID-19 Advisory Board, specifically tasked with making sure no matter your race or financial background, you will have equitable access to health care. March 2021, she also noted continued disparities and promoted the need for health and healthcare equity for marginalized populations.
Life-saving vaccines that need to be equitably distributed across our country.
And by April 2021, the head of the CDC said the pandemic illuminated inequities of another epidemic, racism. And this new report shows COVID-19 is still disproportionately affecting Black communities. Among its findings, the report says Black Americans recently experienced the highest rate of hospitalizations for any racial and ethnic group. And the risk of dying from the virus is nearly twice as high compared to white people, taking a toll on Black families between April 2020 and June 2021. 1 in 310 Black children lost a parent or caregiver compared to 1 in 738 white children. For experts and advocates alike, it is a call to action to address problems that existed long before the pandemic. Now look at your local forecast straight ahead here on USVI News. Plus, Scotty Scheffler walked away from the Masters with a green jacket. Hear from the golf champion when USVI News comes right back. Scotty Scheffler entered the Masters as the #1 player in golf, and he left with a green jacket. He dominated the field, finishing 10 under par to earn his first major championship. Tiger Woods finished 23 shots behind, but said his return to the tournament was absolutely worth it. Jim Axelrod reports.
The drama built over the first couple holes as Scotty Scheffler's three-stroke lead was cut to 1.
17 birdies on the week. Let's make it 18.
And just as it looked it might get even closer, Scheffler shut the door with a spectacular chip on the third hole.
Honestly, having that one go in was such a surprise. I didn't really know how to react. I was just trying to get up there somewhere near the hole, and to have that one go in was definitely, a fortunate break.
No one would get closer than 3 strokes the rest of the day, and Scheffler lived his childhood dream of walking up the 18th fairway at Augusta National, a Masters champion.
How did the idea, the fantasy of the walk down 18 match up to the reality?
It went by a lot quicker in reality than it did in my dreams. In my dreams, I got to enjoy it for about 10 minutes, but in reality, it's only about 20 seconds.
The 25-year-old from Dallas had never won on the PGA Tour until February. He's now won 4 times in the last 8 weeks and become the world's #1 ranked golfer in record time.
Last couple of months, it feels like some switch has flipped in your golfing life. What's happened?
If I knew, I would I would let you know, but I really don't. Once you're able to be in that environment and know what it feels like, and you know how you feel in that environment, you're able to practice and prepare for those moments.
As for Tiger, he finished off his magical week with a warm ovation at the 18th green, and then said he felt good enough that he plans to play the British Open at St. Andrews this summer.
A month ago, I didn't know if I could pull this off. I think it was a positive, and I got some work to do, and looking forward to it.
I was standing by the 18th green as Tiger walked up the fairway, a noticeable hitch in his step, but safe to say, never has there been such a massive crowd cheering so loudly for the guy who finished 47th.